Good morning, class. Today we're going to learn about the early river valley civilizations. On the agenda for today, we're going to do a review from last class, watch a quick video, look at the map of the 4 civilizations, do an activity, and end the class with an exit ticket. So last class we learned about the social hierarchy. On the bottom were the slaves. After the slaves in 4th class were the merchants. In the 3rd class were the artisans, followed by the peasants, and in 1st class was the palace court, nobles, government officials, and on top of them were the emperor. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
What made it so you were like part of which class? Like, how did they decide that?
To answer your question, it was because of their wealth status. And the wealthiest were on top, while the people who were not as wealthy were on the bottom. Good question. So a quote by David Gemmell says, "If you look at any ancient civilization, they have used fantasy stories to train the young." Keep this quote in the back of your mind for the class today. So 4 river civilizations are Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, and India. A fun fact is all of these civilizations share the same link to the equator. This means that they all are the same climate. Okay, now we're gonna watch like a quick 2
4 of the earliest civilizations in world history are what we call the 4 river valley civilizations. These are all in Asia or the Middle East, and that's not really a surprise because the majority of the world's population is and has since very early on been in Asia. Here they are filled in so you can see the rivers better. We have Egypt that's centered on the Nile, Mesopotamia, which literally means the land between 2 rivers, between the Tigris and Euphrates, the Indus River Valley, or Harappan civilization, centered on the Indus River, and China, centered on the Yellow River. There's a good reason why a lot of early civilizations form along rivers. Rivers provide resources like fish, they provide a way to travel, also they provide drinking water. Probably most importantly, though, they provide water for irrigation, and it's probably because of the need for irrigation on farms that these are the places where civilization starts to form into these strong centralized states. Because if you're just one guy farming on his own, you might be able to farm enough food if you're using rainwater farming, but in a place that's otherwise difficult to farm in without these irrigation projects. To coordinate these building projects, the people needed some sort of strong centralized government. And that's why it's here in Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, Indus River Valley that you start seeing strong centralized governments first. And it's the differences between these rivers that often create very big differences in the worldview of these civilizations, even how they see the gods in the afterlife. We'll explore that in a later video. I plan to devote a video to each of these where we can look closer at this.
Okay. So how did you guys like the video?
It was great.
Do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
What is Mesopotamia?
So it means the land between 2 rivers. Okay, so this is a blank map of where you're going to put the early river valley civilizations. You already stole my marker, but I am going to give you a blank map where you're going to do an activity and color in where the rivers are. And 4 different colors for the 4 different spots. You will have about 2 minutes to do so. If you need any help, I'm right here. Emily, you are going to do 2 different rivers in pink. You might want to switch up your colors so you don't get it confused. Let me see. I'm gonna take it. Awesome job. Okay. So, for the end of class, we're going to do an exit ticket. So, we're going to refer back to the quote at the beginning of the class. We're going to write down what you think it means. And to go back to the quote, it says, if you look at any ancient civilization, they have used fantasy stories to train the young. David Gemmell. Okay. Great job, and that will be the end of class for today. Next class, we are going to talk about cuneiform. Do you know what it means?
No.
Well, you'll learn next class.